We've got a petition. All right, there we are.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
I'm Cathy Archibald, the Director of Safer Medicines Campaign, a patient safety organisation tackling the epidemic of side effects that currently send 1 million Britons to hospital every year and cost the NHS £2 billion. We're asking the government to bring safety testing into the 21st century. So I'm here at 10 Downing Street with our wonderful patrons, and it's my great privilege to introduce Tony Benn, who is very well qualified to speak about modernising technology, having been a Minister of Technology for many years in government. Tony.
Well, I've supported the Safer Medicines campaign for many years because I have become persuaded by the evidence that animal testing is not the right way to deal with new drugs. And what we are arguing is that if you're going to test chemicals on human beings, for human beings, then it must be on human beings. And that's what this is about, and we're presenting today a petition signed by 15,000 people, supported by members of all parties in the House of Commons, and hope the government will listen, because this is a really big issue of public safety.
Thank you, Tony. And we're absolutely delighted that Liberal Democrat MP Dr. Julian Huppert has joined us today. He's been supporting our campaign, and Dr. Huppert is one of the very rare scientists in the House of Commons, and so we're absolutely delighted that he's going to say a few words. Thank you, Dr. Huppert.
Well, thank you. It's unfortunate there are so few scientists in the House of Commons, and we've clearly learnt a lot from animal testing, but there are great limits to what one can possibly do, because animals are different from humans. And there's been a huge amount of scientific advance recently in alternatives to animal testing, whether you're looking at human on a chip using human tissues, a lot of computational work, which is what I used to do. I used to work on genomics, and I'm really keen that we work out how can we actually get the best information. It seems to me increasingly that best information comes from doing things like human on a chip, new technologies, new alternatives. I really want to see that we test those and use more of them.
I'm absolutely thrilled to have David Amess MP with us today. He's the Conservative MP for Southend West, and he's the primary sponsor of the Safety of Medicines Bill, which is currently in Parliament. So, David, thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure, and I congratulate your organisation on advising me on this particular piece of legislation. I'm cautiously optimistic that by 2015, the end of this Parliament, it will become law.
Hello there, my name's Matt Fraser. As you can see, I've got short arms, which is a result of my mother taking thalidomide when she was pregnant with me. Thalidomide was advertised as being completely safe for mother and child, harmless as your sugar cube even. And this is my point. Continued use of animal testing literally makes all of us human beings guinea pigs. Because after all, 9/10 of all drugs that are passed through animal testing have no effect whatsoever on humans. We are not a mouse, we're not a monkey. It's just scientifically not viable anymore, and it's time animal testing was stopped altogether.
It is totally illogical when you realise how far away from us, how far removed the results of animals can be. So what we're hoping to do is for the government to test the tests and be able to find those tests which are the best ones to discover the safety of medicines for people.
Introduce our patron, Green MP Dr. Caroline Lucas.
Well, thank you. I think this petition is so important. Essentially what we must do is to drag safety testing into the 21st century. And I think it's crucial that we have a proper evaluation, a scientific independent evaluation of the use of animals in safety tests. No other area of science is still relying on flawed methodologies of 40 years ago. Now's the time to bring this science into the 21st century. A lot of people share our views. That's why it's really important that the government acts on this.